with a beautiful residential facility in the towers. All the areas that you know and love are there. They're restored, I think, to beyond their former glory. We've taken a lot of time to think about that. We take that responsibility really seriously. I think we want to give it back to you all, those of you who are from New York, give it back to you as an icon. It's not only our kind of flagship for the Ward Astoria brand, it's a flagship for our entire company. It's one of our halo assets. It's most people have a story about the Ward of Astoria. Everyone has a memory from there. And I think we're really excited to bring it back in the spring and kind of reclaim its place at the kind of the crown of our portfolio, which has grown exponentially since we closed for restoration.
And let's talk about that. So obviously the Waldorf Astoria New York is, maybe the symbol, of luxury properties for Hilton, with adding 500 over the past year. What does that mean for a potential guest of Hilton? How is the experience different?
When I joined, I'm dating myself now, 16 years ago, Hilton was a handful of brands, 2 luxury brands, and now we're at 5 brands. Astoria, Conrad, our luxury collection brand, LXR, our recent addition, Signia by Hilton, and Nomad, as we enter the luxury lifestyle space. So our commitment to luxury has been quite profound. We want to make sure that, as Catherine said, we've got a stay occasion, a place to stay, no matter what your, reason for visiting a city, your reason for travel. So for us, it's been a really important part of our evolution. So again, our partnership with SLH has given us an additional 400 plus destinations for our guests to visit. Places that we've been told over and over again, we want to go there, we want to go here. We couldn't satisfy that demand. And now we're at 500. We think we've covered, not everything, we've still got a long way to go, but we've covered, I think, a lot of destinations that the high net worth traveler, luxury traveler, our loyal guest wants to go.
So I ended up at one of the 500, I was like a month in at Hilton, we had an off-site meeting at the Conrad Fort Lauderdale Beach, okay? I didn't know how to act. It was my first time being fully immersed in the finer side of life, okay? Specifically the Byredo soap products and the mango scrub at the spa. I was like, I'm learning. This is research, I swear. What data exists that shows you what a traveler who is staying at one of your properties, what do they want?
So we develop, at all of our brands, but particularly luxury, we look at our design target guest, and we look at what that traveler wants from their stay. So our philosophy is, the moment you step over that threshold, you become that design target. And when we say exclusive and luxury, we mean that to be rare, special, elevated.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Not exclusion. We want to welcome everybody. So whether you're a first-time traveler, which I doubt you are, or whether you're a seasoned, global high net worth traveler who's, doing 5, 6, 7, trips a year, that feeling is the same for everybody. So we look at each brand, the brand alignment, product in there. We have a whole team who work tirelessly on the guest experience to make sure that everything we think about from that brand's personality comes to life through every touch point.
Okay, and what is exciting you most about this upcoming year?
Well, this year, New York aside, we've got some phenomenal openings for Ward Astoria in Osaka, Costa Rica, down the road, as it were. We've got a Ward Astoria coming in Shanghai, a little further out, closer to my home in London, Ward Astoria Admiralty Arch, Tokyo. On the Conrad brand, Conrad Athens, as a Greek Cypriot, my mum's really happy to have Athens coming online. But across all of our brands, we're launching some great programs with LXR. It's in the spirit of adventure, so some experiential excursions. We're launching platforms across Conrad to look at how you can explore a city in 1, 3, or 5 hours. Introducing Signia by Hilton internationally outside the Americas for the first time. It's a really busy year. At the moment, we're opening at least 1 hotel every month.
I don't want to know what your outlook looks like. It sounds daunting. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Anything that you'd like to add that maybe the people need to know?
For me, look, it's a privilege to lead Hilton's luxury brands. I think you've seen by the openings, our pipeline, what's coming. We've got an amazing growth story. Each of our brands comes to life in a very unique way. We're always here to answer any questions you've got. Our entire team, and Thanks to our comms team who've done a phenomenal job setting this up today, but we're here to answer any question you have, and don't hesitate, we'll answer anything. And as they say in the movies, I'll meet you at the clock.
Relations team here at Hilton. We're about to kick things off with another panel. And I want to let you know I am a former journalist, so I understand the drive, the work, the passion that goes into what you guys do. And journalists often ask questions about the future. What is it going to be like? What is hospitality going to be like in space? Can these cosmic borders be comfortable? Right? I know that's what everyone's thinking. Exactly. So we have two people here who can answer those questions for us. Oh, I see some little coworkers. Hey. So joining me are pioneers in design and exploration. Please welcome Senior Vice President and Global Head of Architecture and Design at Hilton, Larry Traxler, and commercial astronaut, scientist, artist, and truly a Renaissance woman, Dr. Cyan Proctor. Welcome to the main stage.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Dr. Proctor, I'm glad to have you on Earth. Truly, welcome back. I want you to paint the picture for us as someone who's been to space. What is it like eating, exercising, and then on top of that, where we're going, arts and entertainment, something we didn't necessarily consider in space before. It's all been functional. What's it like to live fully out there?
First of all, I'm going to say it was the most amazing, transformative experience of my life. But first, I want to take the pulse of the room here. Raise your hand if you would go to space. Raise your hand. Look at those. Look at those hands go up. Okay, now this is the great part. That's a reality in your lifetime. And I know this because I was part of the first all-civilian mission to orbit. In 2021, I spent 3 days in space. And your question of what it's like, it was the most amazing experience of my life. And the reason why was because I got to see Earth from that perspective, that orbital perspective. But I also got to sleep in space. I got to eat in space. Because we were only there for 3 days, I didn't have to exercise in space, which was actually pretty good. Because I was in a capsule about the size of this right here.
I'm not a trainer, so it's okay. It flies.
But I got to paint in space. Imagine that. I did a watercolor in space. And I got to listen to music and watch a movie. But did nothing compared to seeing the Earth and experiencing what I call Earth light. Think about this. You know about sunlight, you know about moonlight, but most of you have never heard the term Earth light. And Earth light is the most beautiful, stunning light there is. I should know, I'm turning 55, and Earth light just made me look amazing, right? So you're going to space, right? Everybody's going to space, right? But it's changing in the last 3 years. Commercial space has flown the oldest individual at 92, the youngest individual at 18, and everything in between. So things are changing for the best.
Things are changing. And Larry, when you hear that all of this activity can happen in space, I mean, what then goes into the design of something like Voyager?
Yeah, so imagine you're not in a Dragon capsule, that you actually have, 8 meters in diameter, 3 levels of this space. You have crew quarters, you have a dining facility, you have the Oculus, which you spent some time at, but there's also other areas. There's the fitness, there's the workbenches where all the experiments are going on. So imagine being in space for longer periods and actually being able to stretch out and not be quite so close to your fellow travelers.
You're talking like my love language right there, space in space. And just to clarify, I went to space for 3 days in a Dragon capsule. So I was in orbit with 3 other individuals, 4 people in a space about this big.
And she's still glowing over this experience. Imagine what it will be like.
Yeah, but the whole idea of, my commander would say that we had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable when I went to space. But those of you that raised your hand, when you go to space, because of Hilton and this partnership with Voyager and Star Lab, you're going to be comfortable with being comfortable in space, and that's exciting.
So yeah, where do you see space tourism going? Do you see it truly being accessible to everyone in the room?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you had told me, okay, just to give you an idea about my story, in 2020, height of the pandemic, and keep in mind, I've been chasing space my entire life. I was almost a NASA astronaut. In 2009, I got down to the yes/no phone call with NASA. Now here I am again as a seasoned individual. I had just turned 50, I was during the pandemic. I became a space artist. And 9 months later, that won me a seat to space for 3 days via Twitter. That's the world we're living in. Regular people are going to space in all kinds of interesting ways. I mean, we sent William Shatner to space. I mean, that's, you know, Captain Kirk. And so it's changing, and it's going to be amazing for everyone.
So Larry, we're sending Captain Kirk to space. I mean, essentially, you know, anyone could go. When you hear that, how does Hilton adjust to that trend?
So I think that will take a while for anyone to go. There will be a high barrier of entry due to dollars, right? But what we can do, and what we're already starting to anticipate, is the analog or terrestrial versions of what is up in space. There, at Ohio State University, there will be a direct terrestrial twin of the Voyager Star Lab, where they can conduct experiments. They know exactly how things look, feel, to fix if something goes wrong. The exact copy exists on Earth. Think about what happens when our hotel spaces start trying to create or replicate what it's like to be in space for those that may not be high net worth individuals. So in key launch locations, key areas where Japan, the Middle East, where they are strong supporters of the Starlab experience, we start setting up modules of space experience. There's already a $6 billion project coming up in Dubai or Abu Dhabi called Moon World, 4 times the size of the sphere, and it will replicate what it's like to be on the moon, but not zero G. That's the only difference there. So imagine space tourism. The World Economic Forum estimates it'll be a $1+ trillion industry by 2030. It's 2025.
And you know, I just want to piggyback on what you're saying. You know, we're talking about really this idea of being an analog astronaut here on Earth, being able to go and live in a habitat that is designed to be a replica of something on the moon or Mars. Now, I've done that. I lived in a Mars simulation for 4 months that was funded for NASA back in 2013 in this habitat dome. And I can tell you, had it been designed by Hilton, I'd still be there. And so this is exciting what's happening.
Thank you so much to both of you for taking the time to kind of unpack what you do, how you're innovating, how you're pioneers in design and exploration. Of course, Dr. Proctor and Larry Traxler will be available in the Voyager room if you have any questions for them. But thank you for joining us on stage.
Thank you.
Stranger to hotels. I've told you about 4 times tonight. I used to be a journalist. My job in college, working the front desk of a hotel. Okay, I've got the experience, I've done the work, and the thing I have learned the most is how much customers value loyalty. And our next 2 guests are here to talk about exactly that. So please welcome 2 people who know all about maintaining loyalty and being hyper-focused with keeping up with the changing needs of our customers. We've got Senior Vice President and Global Head of Loyalty and Customer Growth, Jen Chick, and President of Global Lifestyle Brands, Kevin Osterhouse. A round of applause, please.
Never would have agreed to this had we known we were following an astronaut. There's no way.
I know, and we've got cool things to talk about, Kevin.
We do. Try.
We'll try. Let's set the stage for everyone first, though. You oversee lifestyle hotels. Just lay the foundation. What is lifestyle?
That's a great question. You know, our brands, and that's Canopy and Motto and Graduate Hotels, the Collections, Curio, and Tapestry. These are brands. I think a lifestyle hotel has a point of view, it has a perspective, and that perspective might not be for everybody. It is a hotel that often provides a set of experience that match what a traveler might be looking for. I think about Graduate Hotels. This is a brand that exists to tell the stories about university achievement, the history, the heroes, the accomplishment. This is a brand that celebrates nostalgia. It exists in markets where people are passionate about that team or that.
You feel it when you walk in the lobby of the Graduate. You're like, I am a Madison, Wisconsin student.
Yeah, that's exactly. Which is a Badger. A Badger. There you go.
I'm there.
You are a Badger.
It took me 3 seconds.
So you share that passion. There is a nostalgia about it, and that's what makes Graduate. That's what makes that platform a lifestyle brand.
So when you see us catering Jen to customers like this, what does that mean for something like Hilton Honors? How can we differentiate those experiences for those customers?
Yeah, well, we know that when we talk to customers, including our Hilton Honors members, that customers are looking for unique experiences when they're traveling. And so we want to continue to provide the right set of unique experiences. And the lifestyle hotel and the category really allowed us to innovate in new places with new spaces to let us bring in new customers and give some of our existing customers new places to go. So, I think in addition to the vibe and the look that Kevin described, we've also had the opportunity to create some bespoke experiences for our Hilton members. So we had a VIP concert with Teddy Swims at the Graduate Tucson. And so I think we'll continue to see us as we lead into our partnership with the Big Ten to have different types of experiential moments that are exclusive to our Hilton members in these amazing properties that create a wonderful time experience.
So if you're unfamiliar with the lifestyle brands that Hilton offers, there's a wonderful quiz on storiesfromhilton.com. What lifestyle hotel should I go to? Kevin, you should know I'm a curio. I mean, you're a curio. Okay. Allegedly, it means I appreciate one-of-a-kind moments. Would I think it's true?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to interview an astronaut.
Exactly.
Yes.
And a curio. So Kevin, how do you go about finding which brand you identify?
In your case, you're lucky. You found yours. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all. I think we've been growing rapidly over the last year. It could be that you're looking for a city exploration escape and you stay at a Motto. It could be that you're excited about outdoor adventure. You stay. We just left our partnership with other things. And it could be that you decide, just like you, to stay in one of our independent experiences all over the world in either a Curio or a Tapestry. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all, but I think it's driven by the neighborhood you want to explore, the community you want to experience, and what's causing you to become curious about where you travel.
And Jen, with so many brands that could attract a customer, how does that impact Hilton Honors?
Yeah, so in Hilton Honors, the amazing thing is I get to see where people stay, right? And a lot of our diamond members in particular try so many of our different brands. We stay across the portfolio, and I have to say that with some of the new partnerships we've launched, the addition of the new hotels with Graduate and Nomad, we really have seen those honors members go and try these new hotels. And it's great because they also give us the feedback on those experiences, which is really valuable to us. But also, we've been able to attract a new kind of customer. As we want to continue to grow, we think about where the future of the program is going, it's going to come from younger travelers. So things like adventure travel, which is really big, particularly with younger travelers. Auto camp is a perfect fit, for example, for that. So you'll continue to see us, I think, find the places and new ways to stay that customers are looking for. We really listen to Hilton Honors as our main listening mechanism to what our customers are looking for. We continue to grow our portfolio across the board and give new opportunities for people to use those points and stay at some cool places.
And what's exciting you both most about this upcoming year?
There's a lot that's happening that's exciting right now. We're continuing to plan for our growth, continue to introduce new projects throughout the world. Canopy is opening in very exciting markets this year. I'm excited about our Bangkok opening. I'm excited right now we're opening Cape Town in the coming weeks. We're opening closer to home in Nashville. Motto is opening in Hong Kong, beginning an opening in Nashville for that brand. And then we're going to continue to open Curio and Tapestry in new countries around the world throughout the year. So a lot going on. We're also excited to be growing our focus on lifestyle, to continue to support these experiences that Hilton has continued to bring on board. We're working on a hub right here in New York to continue to focus on what we can do to support lifestyle growth and the experience for our industry.
I'm just excited to see our members experience the changes in our portfolio, the growth that we have. As I mentioned, we spend a lot of time discussing with that customer feedback, so I think you'll continue to see us innovating and providing more opportunities for our members to use points, to engage with us, to try new places to stay, to see new places. On a personal level, I'm very excited to try the Waldorf in Costa Rica. We're planning a vacation there, so you can see me there.
Me too.
I'm racking up my points to be able to do that as well. Kevin, Jen, thank you so much for teaching us about where to stay and how to do it. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you haven't checked out the Room of Doors, be our guest. Thank you so much. We're available for questions if you have them. All right, Hilton Experience Showcase. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to kick things off with our next panel. If I can get your guys' attention, we have got great news to discuss. Okay, hello and welcome back to the Hilton Experience Showcase. I'm hoping you guys have all checked out our Room of Doors by now, enjoying yourself, had some questions answered. This time last year, I was a journalist. One thing I was worried about before converting to PR was my why. You know, what is my purpose? And I think with what you guys do and what I'm about to introduce, they kind of are the purpose for Hilton. They have found our why. So collectively, Hilton's purpose is to fill the earth with warmth and light, and that's what we do through our New Ways to Stay marketing campaign. So I want to introduce Chief Marketing Officer Mark Weinstein and Senior Vice President of Global Content, Media, and Partnerships, Dan Reynolds. Welcome to the main stage.
Thank you, Cody. Appreciate it.
Mark, can you set the base for us here and just let us know what is the Stay?
Well, you started out in the exact place, which is Conrad Hilton's vision of the light and warmth of hospitality. And we had this moment, some of you may recall, in 2020 to do a little more thinking than usual. I was at home and we were spending time thinking about how we were going to tell our brand story. And as we looked across the industry, we realized that there was an interesting trend. People were talking about the destination. They're talking about sunsets and sunrises and dolphins jumping out of the water and yoga, paddleboard, across the sunset. And yet, our wellness story is the stay. Well, what's the stay? It's this idea that when you come across the transom of our hotels, the physical experience, the service experience, and the technology experience makes the stay different. Now you're there for some reason. There's a reason why you came to town, and you're there to experience that town. But our job is to have people and technology and great design to make sure that you've got the best possible experience so you can do your best, whatever you're there to do. And that was the part of the story that was missing. And so for over 100 years, we've been there for the stay. We've been there for our guests, and they come into our guests as hotel guests. We've been in our communities, making sure that the communities we enter, we take care of, just like we're seeing us do in California right now, giving 20,000 rooms to take care of those who most need those hotel rooms. You see it for our team members who check in once and spend a lifetime at Hilton, checking in once and staying for their entire career. And ultimately, you see it for the impact we have on the planet. We want to save the world so we can travel the world. When you think about that, Hilton really does have this enduring staying power, changing who we are, making sure we reflect lifestyle and luxury and experience that we're going to talk about, but always being true to that founder vision that had the foresight over 105 years ago to make sure people knew that we were there to fill the earth with light and warmth and hospitality.
Which we're doing, and which your guys' department, I think, really hammers home. So outside of top-tier accommodations, Dan, what experiences really speak to the direction Hilton is going?
Yeah, so as Mark mentioned, our job is to provide a great stay. So when we think about experiences, we're ultimately looking at things that authentically let us tell that story and bring that to life. So if you look at, for example, if you experience our McLaren room here today, we're heading into our 20th year of the partnership. And what that's meant is 20 years of the team, the drivers, and fans staying with Hilton. And that's an incredible story for us to tell. And so in the last couple of years, we've been now building on that relationship. As the sport has grown, if you look at here in the U.S., that sport has grown astronomically thanks to series like Netflix's Drive to Survive. And that's let us bring Hilton Honors members once-in-a-lifetime experiences that you just can't get anywhere else. So we're telling the fan story of the stay, we're telling the drivers and the team story of the stay, and then we're able to bring these once-in-a-lifetime Hilton Honors member experiences to life through the stay. So just one example of many.
Exciting. Fast cars, easy to get excited about. What else this year that you guys are working on is really lighting that fire? What's getting you excited to get up out of bed, go into work, spread the light more?
Yeah, look, we think our job is to connect with fans and passion points in all these communities. And so when you look at the year ahead, there's 3 things we want people to know in the world about our stay. First of all, it's just different when you stay at Hilton, that it matters where you stay. That the heart of every great trip is a great stay, and it's just different than Hilton. Second of all, we have new ways to stay, right? We're not the Hilton that you saw even just a year ago. Whether you have auto camp, small luxury hotels of the world, you've got all the work we're doing with Nomad and Graduate, and all these new marquee openings. There's some new ways to stay. And of course, the best way to experience Hilton is through Hilton Honors and deepening that relationship through our partnerships, things like Peloton, like Plan with the experiences, or things like our American Express credit card. So for me, the authentic storytelling, having creators and partners tell that story, that's the year ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. If you look at the data, you know, about 1 in 4 travelers are traveling for sports or entertainment-related travel. And so this year we went and took that a step further with things like our stay-like experiential stays. So you think about here in New York, just a few weeks ago, you could stay like Wicked. So when Wicked was opening in theaters,
It was so awesome.
it was pretty awesome.
I was doing the windmills on TikTok. I was doing the choreo. It was fantastic. I'm sorry, Dad, I'm fangirling because it was awesome.
About if you could stop tagging us in those videos.
Never.
We'll take all the fans we can get, but we loved being able to bring the Wicked experience to a stay. And so that stay-like format is something that we're building on. We did it in Beverly Hills with Paris Hilton, so you could stay like an infinite icon while she was launching her newest album. And you know, this is something we're thinking about that just for all of you, we're thinking about how might you stay like McLaren? And as we enter into our 20th year with them, what does that look like? And so that's coming this year.
You have a world champion as a partner, and you guys will make mistakes, and it's just like it, right?
A mandatory stay.
It does.
It sounds like it's going to be an elevated race car bed that I had as a kid. So
It will be a much better.
Perfect. That's good to hear. Mark Weinstein, Dan Reynolds, thank you so much for joining us up here. Of course, if you have not experienced the Room of Doors, we encourage you to do so. And thank you so much for coming to Hilton Experience Showcase.
Thanks for spending
Thank you,
your time.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello, Hilton Experience Showcase. If you can join us in the reception area, we have our last fireside chat of the night. You will learn the info. You will hear the news. Please join us. Excellent. All right, so welcome to the Hilton Experience Showcase. We hope you've enjoyed your time here tonight. As I said about 19 times tonight, I was a journalist for 15 years before I came here. And one thing I know journalists and reporters get to do, they're on the front lines of history, they're immersed in the story, and gratefully for us at Hilton, we also get to still do that. Thanks in large part to our next panelists. So please welcome to the stage Vice President of Partnership Development and Global Distribution, Oral Yarn.
Thank you so much, Cody. Can you all hear me? Yeah?
Oh, that's good energy already. You're already a hype man. So a large part of your role is to allow guests of Hilton to further connect with communities that their properties are in. So what partnerships really exude that, and are there any on the horizon that you're really excited about?
So first, Hilton seeks to bring the warmth and light of hospitality to every stay and every guest. And we do that certainly by listening to our customers and seeking to fulfill what they share with us in terms of insights. And we translate that insight, my team and I, we do amazing partnerships that take that insight and give our customers new ways to dream, book, redeem, and earn points with Hilton. And specifically, I want to highlight a key partnership. One of the amazing partnerships that we've done, a first, absolute first in the lodging industry, is with a company called AutoCamp. And AutoCamp is amazing because it allows customers to blend outdoor living with a boutique hotel experience. And so the best of all worlds, and we love that, and our customers love it.
You have someone like me interested in camping, which is a feat in itself. I like the s'mores kit, everyone. So I'm curious, what is your relationship with adventure? Has it always been a part of you?
So it actually is. And so I grew up in the Caribbean, rural town in Jamaica. And for me, the natural world and the beauty of majestic, I'm embarrassed saying this, birds, right? And so, and I got a chance to actually witness that beauty, and then people traveling to my town, my community, to experience that. And so I fell in love with it before I realized it, tourism and travel. And the first time I met folks from other parts of the world was when they came to enjoy the beauty of the place I lived.
So having that upbringing of being fully immersed in adventure, how does that shape your goals in business?
That's a good but tough question. I think for me, I very much want everyone to have that same experience and to enjoy that beauty. And if I can actually make that available to everyone, I want everyone to fall in love with that the way I did as a child and then have that experience. And what's really cool, I get to do that for a living, right? My soul's ambition, what's my soul, which is natural worlds, what I grew up loving. I get to now make that available to everybody and to Hilton customers and our honest members, and I love that.
What's exciting you most in 2025? Where's the adventure taking us?
Wow, there's so much to share. I can't tell you just yet, but I promise the next time we talk, I have so much I'll share.
All right, and you can email the comms reps to get that information. Well, thank you so much for joining us on stage. And again, thank you so much for coming out to Hilton Experience Showcase. Please get home safely. I believe this is last call, so make sure you grab one if you need. It's getting close. It's getting close. I don't have the authority to say that, but I am saying it's getting close. Thank you so much again. If you have any questions, the comm staff is all available for you. And thank you again for coming.
Thank you all very much.
So I'm not going to see you? Dang it.